Yes, welcome to the Midweek Rub. Bill and I, of course, here along with Damien Barrett and Jason Dunstall. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Jim. How you going?
Very nice to have you both here. Now, we should, before we get stuck into the issues,
Bill,
just discuss what was being discussed during the break, and that was Bill telling us about the year he played at centre-half back, even though he kicked more goals than Gary Lyon, where he came fifth in the Brownlow, where he actually came eighth.
Fifth-ish.
Chief, have you known a man to dominate more off-air time with his own career than Bill just did then?
mind you, it's about time someone put the wolf in his place, Bill, so I'm with you.
Yeah, exactly. He talks about what a great player he was, and I played a lot down back, helped
you had him
out.
covered, mate. You had him covered.
He did too, Bill.
He did too, Bill. Shut up, you.
Well, you kicked
Flop.
more goals, didn't you? 441. And he
to
kicked
426 or something.
There you go.
Yeah, less games, Bill.
And played less games and played down back for 2 years, where I came fifth in the Brownlow.
You played as a decoy for a long time too, didn't you, Bill?
What do you mean a long time? My whole bloody career I was
What
a decoy.
year did you finish fifth, Bill?
1990, I think it was, when Tony Liberatore won it.
Yep.
And I didn't get invited. They overlooked my invite there. And myself and Shane Templeton were up in Hamilton Island at Dirty Nelly's,
Dirty Nelly.
talking to these two Russian girls who couldn't talk English.
Oh, really?
But by the end of the night, they knew English, Jim.
Can you believe he doesn't actually know that these are on, Chief?
Are we on?
He doesn't understand these black things actually transmit words onto the wireless.
Damo, can you look up those results from 1990? I'd love to see that.
I think we need to, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
in the break.
Liver won it. Anyway, did you come second in the Brownlow? What was
Should have
your
won
best?
Yeah, but didn't win one, Bill.
You only
Why?
kicked 150 one year and
Forwards,
didn't win it,
mate.
Bill.
What was your best goals? One,
145.
and you didn't win the Brownlow medal. That is unbelievable.
It is.
It's a midfielder's
It
medal.
is.
We all know that.
It is.
Yeah, of the 1,000 goal kickers, Jim, we're talking about this too. It's an interesting lot.
of blokes.
It is. Well,
It
you
is,
got
you're right.
Tony Lockett. Do you
That's it.
talk to him, Chief?
He doesn't. He's a recluse, mate.
Yeah, he is. Exactly.
You never see or hear from him.
He's out there. Gary Ablett.
Recluse?
Yes. So you don't talk to him.
No.
Doug Wade.
Run into Doug every now and then at functions. Really good fella.
Yeah, he's tad different.
Yeah.
Doug. Nuts Coventry.
Dead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
And yourself. So
Well,
it's,
I'm the only normal one, really, in the group.
he's the only normal. It's an interesting mob. Do you have 1,000 goal kicker meetings or lunches or something? No. Righto.
We just established that two of them are recluses and one has passed on. That leaves two others.
Do you get something special from the AFL for kicking 1,000 goals, being one of five?
No, nor should you.
Oh, you should.
Why?
Well, it's only five have done it in 150 years.
How's that different to the top five possession getters over the journey or the top five of anything?
Well,
No, you're more elite than that.
It's just a
It's
statistic.
more
and
elite.
you know that, Chief.
Just a number. You blokes get too hung up on your numbers.
You view yourself as more elite, but
Yeah.
that's across the board.
I view myself exactly how I view myself. Jim.
1990, we understand.
Very nicely.
1990, Bill came seventh
Oh.
Seventh.
with 12 votes. Is that right, Higo?
Equal seventh.
Equal
Yep.
seventh on 12
Sorry,
votes.
seventh
Well,
with 12 votes. And who won it?
Stuart Lowe was on 12 votes as
Who
well.
won
Tony
it?
Liberatore.
With how
18
many?
18.
So two best on grounds, I win it.
Well, you didn't know.
listen to Bill's rationale.
Got a question for you, Damo. I see in the paper here, James Brayshaw on Triple M yesterday on the Rush Hour said that panic had set in last week against Port Adelaide and they went into panic mode. What are you seeing or hearing from the North Melbourne camp?
Oh, just that it's, again, similar to Melbourne, nowhere near where they felt they were as a club at the start of the year. Bill had wins, they've got 3 wins, Gold Coast, GWS and Geelong. And unfortunately for North, the Geelong win now in round 3 is not looked upon as it was at the time.
Yeah,
as
which
in
was a
being
very good win.
A breakthrough win. It's still a very good win, but as we know since, they've played Sydney Swans, West Coast, and the Bulldogs
Both
lost.
interstate.
Both interstate and okay, sort of ish against the West Coast, but look, that one on the weekend, the 32-point exceeding of the deficit there that Port Adelaide had to then get up in the last 11 minutes. Not a good sign, Bill, and I think it's going to be a long season remaining.
Chief, is there something in this? And I know even Geelong are saying this, but there's 14 blokes playing there that have played less than 60 games. 14 is a lot. That's a very inexperienced side.
Yeah, agree. Couldn't agree more, mate.
So, all right, fair enough. We'll move on.
Well,
I
young
know-
players won't come into their own until they've played more than 50
I
games.
know.
No doubt about that. You can't expect them to carry the load.
It's about 80 games, isn't it?
Whatever you reckon, mate.
I know, but 14 seems a lot. I didn't realise there was that many. And
Whatever you reckon.
Oh, I said
That's 6
50, and he
Chief.
goes, no, it's about 80. And I said, well, okay, make it 80 then.
But that's a very inexperienced side. I didn't realise that. And the two main players are Wells and Boomer, and seems if you can stop them and stop their run, you stop North.
Let's have a look at the Adelaide Crows on the other end of the spectrum, Chief, because they have
Flying.
been unbelievably impressive. We saw them 2 weeks ago against Geelong over there, and they were brilliant and apparently even better on the weekend.
They've set themselves up to finish top 4. They've got some really, really good wins. I mean, you belt Carlton over here, that's a particularly good win. They beat Sydney up in Sydney. That's an extraordinary win. They've beaten Geelong at home. So they're teams that everyone thought would challenge. They've already put them to bed. They've set themselves up for top 4.
JB, we have to give credit here to our good friend Danny Frawley on this.
Oh, please don't.
No, we do, don't we?
He already
Jason,
came in on Monday and made us replay it.
Oh, he has to.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
how
He's
he
already got
rolls.
the credit.
Where he said he thought they'd be in the finals this year.
And he
After
did.
round 2.
He did. He did.
After
He actually
round
did.
2, he said, congratulations to the Adelaide Footy
Yep.
Club. They'll be playing finals this year.
On you, Danny.
Not just finals. They'll be playing a couple of finals.
Well, he made us play this the
He
other
did.
day.
He hunted it down in a recording studio
Yeah.
and then played it for us.
And then said it was the producer who made him play
That's
get it out.
And then lied.
Yeah.
Chief, we're only spitballing here, and we don't necessarily like changing rules. But if you're one of the end zone umpires, so you're not about to bounce the ball back in the centre, and you see, after a goal's kicked, a player staged to try and get a second shot at goal, why wouldn't you just go, righto, free kick out of the centre to the other team? That would only ever have to happen once. And then coaches would turn around and go, that's
I
the end of
reckon
that.
you're asking too much of the umpires. They've got a tough enough job as it is. To now start looking for staging and add that to the...
But even if they see it clearly, even if they're watching and going, don't do it, and the
because
guy
they're
does it,
only going to see some, and they're not going to see all. And if you either got to police the rule or don't police it, allow the match
it's
review.
going to
panel
hurt
to do it.
more than a letter.
Well, it is, but if you're a repeat offender, A, you've got to live with the stigma. And B, I'd like to see it develop into suspensions if you keep doing it.
All right, Carlton.
Can you appeal the first offence?
Bill used to play for a lot
I
of
think
free
if it's
kicks.
only
He
a
would have been
letter,
in trouble in his day.
Did you, Bill?
You flopped a lot, mate. Mate, you went
Couple of
down like a
times.
bag of proverbial
A
at the
couple
drop
of
of a hat.
I'm trying to get a kick.
Bill.
Poor bloke doing his hardest, couldn't find one.
Renowned as a flopper.
So, get a flopper.
That's not something you want to be remembered as, Bill.
I don't think I was. That's the first time I've heard of that, and I was pretty hard at it.
Oh,
Hey,
you're too good a player to be a flopper, Bill. That was the disappointing thing.
Just shut up.
All right, I want to ask you about Jarryd Roughead, Chief, because
Yes,
he looked to
big
me
Ruffy.
like we're starting to see the juice out of this man. It's obviously been a journey with the injury that he had, and then he's done some work in the middle and very nicely rucking and all the rest of it. But what we want to see, this is the football public. We don't actually give a stuff about the Hawthorn match committee and what you've got in mind, Chief. We want to see him down in the forward 50, bagging big bags of goals and entertaining us. And on the weekend, he was sensational.
He was, and I think he's getting better week in, week out. The more games he gets under his belt. It was a long fight back from an Achilles injury, and he just seems to be picking up the speed of the game pretty well. And I think he's ready to. I'm hoping he's ready to explode, and I'd like him to spend as much time forward as possible.
He kicked 4, should have been 6.
Yep.
And he's almost on track to have a tilt at the Coleman.
He
Because if he
Very
gets
open, the
rolling
Coleman.
now,
Very
he's
open.
very open.
Yep.
The numbers aren't that high. Just leave him forward a bit, Chief, for us.
Yeah.
And let us get nice and
Yes,
up and
Chief,
about.
we
with
want to
Rough.
see. He's got the ping.
Jim's picking our team now.
No,
Bill.
no,
Yeah, well,
he's
fair
in
enough.
your team.
Hey,
I'm just worried about where
You're
he plays.
picking the team, mate.
Well, Chief.
On that, if he was to play forward, it would mean Max Bailey's back. How far away is he?
Well, no. I mean, you can still play forward and have a stint in the ruck. It's a matter of getting the balance right. And I think just giving him the odd run in the ruck, he enjoys it. Gives him a little bit of freedom. You get away from having that bloke holding a jumper and being all over you all the time. It's particularly good to get into the game if you're not getting a lot of the ball up forward.
That's right.
So
Go
I
to
think-
centre half back.
I think he's always going to have a little stint. He doesn't need to go to centre half
But
back.
Max Bailey, how
That's-
far away is he?
You don't put
Go to
your
centre
good
half
ones
back.
down back.
Well, he nearly went a Brownlow back
You
then.
went down back, Bill, and that probably says
Hey,
it all.
did you have a policy?
Put your good ones down back. Every now and then it just sneaks out. You've got to listen carefully for it. Out it comes.
Did you have a policy, or did you have a policy to Hawthorn to recruit left footers?
No.
Yes.
It just
Be
happened-
honest,
it
Chief.
No,
happened
be
that way.
honest with
Be
us.
honest, Chief.
No.
You had 9 goal kickers on the weekend that
Yep.
kicked them left foot. Left-footed goal kickers. Just go that one.
One goal.
Left-footed
How many do
goal
we have
kickers.
all up? How many do we have all up?
11 or something, but 9 of them were left-footers.
Okay.
So there's no policy at all at your
Just
club.
happened to be left footers, mate.
Makes it a nightmare at the Aurora, where pretty much for half the footy everyone's out the other side because they all just hooking it out there. Now, we need to finish in what is now the traditional way, Chief.
Yes.
And that is Bill
We're out of
brings a joke.
Oh,
joke.
no, not that rubbish that he did
And I
last
need
week.
encouragement, please. It's a good one, this one. It's one of my favourites, one that I've made up.
An original, a totally original joke.
Totally original. I know a bloke who was talking to another bloke, and there was these three men that were captured by female savages. They were told that their members would be removed in a manner that's appropriate with their jobs, okay?
Right.
So the first man, they say to you, "What are you?" And he says, "I'm a lumberjack." So just go bang, cut his member off. Cut the old 8 day off, Jim.
Tockley.
With an axe.
With an axe. Oh, well, yeah, because he's a lumberjack. Exactly. Appropriate with your job. Well done. You're going well. The second one, what do? He said, "I'm a butcher." So they sliced his off. Bang. Third bloke sitting over there having a little chuckle. I said, "What's so funny? What do you do?" He said, "Well, I work for Hoover."
Oh, no. Jeez. There it is. Just when we think we don't need the tumbleweed, in it rolls.
You're going to have to...
And therefore, Plastic Bertrand needs to come
Here
back
we go.
to get us
You ready?
back up. We need it back up, Chief.
I work for Hoover.
We need this to get us back up.
Ready?
Only Chief gets it.